Well, hello everyone. This is your host, ID Jester. Thanks for checking out my video. Once again, we got another hero in Marvel Heroes 2015 edition that we are going to review and kind of look at as we're doing all 53 heroes in the game. Well, welcome to well, that's a good question. Who is this? Because originally it was Miss Marvel, but somewhere along the way it was redone to Captain Marvel. So I don't know. I know her as Miss Marvel because that's the way she was in the game for the longest time. And then I think rather recently they switched her over to Captain Marvel. Anyways, let's go ahead and take a look at Captain Marvel and see how she does. As far as her items go, we do have all items for her except for this second slot here. For some reason, I don't have a second item for her. I've been playing last night. I played her for a little while to see if I can get a second item slot for her. And hopefully during this episode we will get one. And we actually have a few chests we need to open, so hopefully we'll get that item there, which hopefully will give us a nice boost. As far as our items go, they're not too bad. Seems like they have some interesting little powers associated with them. And mostly the ranks that you use here, the Captain's Gauntlets, definitely are powers that we use. This one here is giving us 5 ranks to all of our brawling powers and 4 ranks to all of our photonic powers, which is nice. This one here, when we spend photonic energy, we get a bunch of boosts there. Oops. And then infused regeneration, energy absorption, knee, thoughtness. I don't know, whatever that is. And the Warbird Mask, 2 ranks to all powers, 5 ranks in Stellar Flare, and 5 ranks in Radiant Cascade. Not too bad powers. She is a really good hero for combo because when we look at her powers, she's some physical, she's some energy. You can build her with just physical, you can build her with just energy. She is some melee and she's some range, so you can build her with just or a combination thereof. You can build her with some range, some physical. So kind of just about any item will work. We are using the ranged one. We could have physical in here. You could have energy, whichever one you wanted. Uforge. River of Souls for her spirit. She seems to be a little spirit weak there. And just normal everyday items, no blessings. And our Lizard Medallion, which gives her some critical hit rating and brutal strike rating, etc. No legendary item. A few relics of Antilla there for area powers. She does do a few area powers with her ranged attacks, which is nice. As far as her core goes, some energy regeneration, some energy or some health when we hit, and of course critical damage rating. We try to get that up as high as we can. An insignia of Pitori Rasputin. So when we hit with any power, allies are going to get a damage rating to melee powers and defensive rating, and a nice critical damage rating and some damage rating to area powers. As far as her stats goes, because she's physical and because she's energy, we're going to try to get her energy and her strength up, and also, of course, try to get her fighting up. So heroes that tend to have multiple areas, you have to focus in on multiple areas, tend to be more scattered around than heroes that are, say, just physical and ranged. You can kind of just concentrate on one area. So 13, 12, 18 is actually not bad numbers, and then a 6 and a 6 to go along with those. Seems like these numbers are actually pretty good compared to some of the other heroes that we've done. Stat-wise, so most importantly our stats here, critical hit rating, 47.9%. That is rather good, and like I said in some of the other episodes, these numbers here don't take into consideration any of your item powers. Like when you critical hit, you're going to gain 364 brutal strike rating and 1019 brutal damage rating for 10 seconds. That's not calculated into this. So that's the fact that we don't have any really good items here, or any blessings, or any legendaries, and she has a 47.9% chance to critical. That is through the roof good. Trust me, folks. If I was to put
Hey,
some more
Cupid.
decent
Whose water
items
are all
up
those
here
arrows for?
and put some legendary and some blessings on here, that number would be way above our what we were trying to get. So that is most of the heroes that we don't have any items on are in between 30 to 35 and maybe maxed out at 40. So 47.9 is way above average. That is good to see. Our brutal strike rating, on the other hand, is way low, which is interesting. 22%. And I think this number is low because we have all of these bonuses that are not being calculated in. So just keep that in mind. With a critical hit, we're going to get that 364 brutal strike rating, which will make it go up about 4% right there. And then it will stack a couple times. Again, when we spend all of our photonic energy for the next 10 seconds, we're going to get some defensive ratings, brutal strike rating with our melee powers, etc., etc. So I think it shows, and even though this is way low, it's not everything's not being calculated in. So just keep that in mind. But it is low. Critical hit rating is through the roof. Our brutal strike rating is pretty low. Another reason why the brutal strike rating is pretty low, I'll show you when we get to the powers section, is because of the Omega that we had to use. The system we're using for the Omega. Well, let's look at powers. Speaking of which, alright, so she's got a brawling category, a photonics category, and avionics category. We are using a melee physical, and then she's got range photonics, and then a few miscellaneous powers. So all of her melee powers here in the brawling are physical damage, so we are using the infused uppercut as our default attack. It is not a basic attack, so it does spend spirit. We are also using the Cosmic Haymaker, which does some pretty good damage, but it also does extra damage against elites and bosses, so you definitely want to max that out. Then we're using a ranged photonic power. Where is it? Where's the little skull? Oh, it's over here. The Crashdown Strike. Basically, leap over the air, come crashing down, does some extra damage. But it gives you extra damage for 8 seconds when you use a photonic energy. Then we have our signature power, which is the Radiant Cascade. Basically, you are going to send out a wave of photonic energy. You're going to energize your photonic bar here. We're going to look at that in just a second. You're going to take less damage while this is active. We're going to generate 200 photonic energy. And it's pretty good. It only has a 25-second cooldown too. So good amount of damage. Not great, but good. And her claim to fame again is this photonic energy. I'm trying to get that up to 100% because there are a lot of powers that'll actually, when we look at them, let's see if we can get one here. Right here. So infused uppercut, we'll do a if this bar is full, then when we activate our infused uppercut, it's going to do 150% extra damage. This one here, same thing. Nope. Not that one. Maybe it's this one. Yeah. Spend 100 photonic energy if available to deal 150% extra damage. So when this bar gets all the way filled up, you definitely want to activate one of these powers that is going to spend it all to get its damage cranked really high. So this just generates over time, and also taking damage will increase the rate at which this happens to go up as well. So we also use in the photonics category, we have the photonic wave, which is kind of a nice little zap power. This again, if we could spend photonic energy, deals 150% extra damage. And the stellar flare, again, spend 100 photonic energy to get 150% extra damage. So, when this bar gets filled up, which it does pretty regularly, I would say every maybe 8 to 10 seconds or so, you're going to get a nice boost to a lot of your different powers that you're going to be using. And that's pretty much all we have. Of course, we have our leap forward power, okay? And this is one of the reasons why I don't play Miss Marvel or Captain Marvel. It's because this power here, which we've seen every hero so far do, she has got the worst. First of all, the sound drives me insane. I don't understand what that sound is supposed to represent. It sounds like a machine going up and down. But she has this. She doesn't go very far. Okay, if we just point over this direction, she went like literally 15 feet. It costs you a bunch of spirit to activate this power. Fortunately for us, we have a lot of spirit regen right now. But she doesn't go very far. So if I'm trying to get around the map, you can see. Is that not the most annoying thing in the whole world? That's why I use these powers on every single hero in the game. The little jump forward or teleport forward or whatever. And I don't have a problem with 90% of them. This one I do have a problem with because, number one, it doesn't go very far, so you have to activate it a bunch of times. The sound associated with it is ridiculous. I guess the only advantage in using it is it gives you 20% or 25% extra damage after spending a photonic energy with this power. After spending photonic energy with a power. So you get extra damage. So you can use this and then activate your Crashdown Strike, or your Stellar Flare, or your Photonic Wave, and get a little bit of extra damage. But I tell you, they really would like them to change the sound on this. It sounds like a robot bouncing up and down. You know, a machine that's coming down to. It's just, and like I said, I mean, you try to get from one end to the other because she doesn't go very far. Just takes a lot of spirit. So that is, in my book, a negative, a big negative. Number one, it's a negative because it doesn't go very far. Number two, it's a negative because it spends a lot of spirit. And number three, it's a negative because of the sound effect on it. So just keep that in mind if you use that power. Omega System, we talked about this because she is a combo hero. What you're going to have to do is you're going to have to spend a lot of points on, if I can get to it, energy for energy powers. So that's a lot of points that way. And then you're going to try to get the extra 7 strength here for Grom, which again is a ton of points. So those two combos right there use up, I think I got about 5,300, somewhere around 5,300 points. And you can see quite a bit is used there. It only leaves us a few points left to put into, we don't even have enough points to put in here. We got a few points in Warpath, which is one of the most important things, is to get your fighting up. And then we got a few points in our Frenzy for the melee and our Spin Tech. And that is it. Oh, and a few points here. We couldn't even get any more Super Soldier. So using those points, when you have heroes that are both when they are both physical and energy or physical and mental, you have to spend a lot of points in this different area. Now, of course, I didn't need to go here to get the extra strength, but it's the cheapest way to get 7 strength in the game. You do lose a bunch of spirit, but that 7 strength is going to help you in the long run. As far as synergy goes, we're using Cable. Captain Marvel, again, originally I knew her as Miss Marvel back in the day. So she was always Miss Marvel in the game. So I think when they updated her, they switched her over to Captain Marvel. Human Torch, Iron Man, Moon Knight, Nightcrawler, Squirrel Girl, Star-Lord, Winter Soldier, and Wolverine are our synergies. Yep, let's get our thing for the day. We are at day 193. I'll go ahead and grab that. And we got our legendary quest going. Alright, so let's see how she plays. We are going to Industrial City today. It's a new day. A new day has dawned here in Marvel Heroes. So she doesn't have any like turn on, turn off powers, no stances, no crazy things like that. The only thing you have to do is just let your bar energize, which will automatically do. And then once it does, fill up, you're going to get a big boost, and then it's going to start over again, and you're just going to run that. Just let it do its thing. You don't have to manage it or anything. All right, well, let's use our terrible, terrible, terrible leap forward power. So here's our default attack. She just kind of leaps up and punches, uppercuts people. Does some pretty good damage. You notice it does take spirit, but we have really good spirit regen right now. So that's good. We definitely need that as Miss Marvel or Captain Marvel, whatever you wish to call her. Our next power is, of course, our lunge forward, and then we have our Cosmic Haymaker. Let's show you what that. Oh, that's not the Cosmic Haymaker. That is actually the Crashdown Strike. There's the Haymaker. All right. So we're going to energize. You see our bars filling up pretty quickly here. Boom, 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 and we're just using this, punch, and activate their Haymaker. All right. Alright, then we have, of course, our signature power. Let's go ahead and activate that when we get a nice group of enemies here. Boom. Alright, just try to get around a lot of enemies because a little wave of things come out of her. Like a wave of energy comes out like 3 or 4 times, I think it is. And, hey, alright, we helped complete a quest. That's what we needed. Alright, let's go in here after these cooks. So we definitely... Alright, another power we have is the Stellar Flare, which we're going to activate. Sends out a nice shockwave of energy there. And then we have our Leap Down Strike power, which is just jump up in the air, come crashing down. And then lastly, we have our Photonic Wave, just sends out a wave of energy. So you want to definitely use a combination of powers. A little bit of melee, a little bit of ranged, and she is a really good candidate for the Alter Reality Grenade because that will give her procs every time you use physical and energy, and we'll come crashing down. Alright, I'll start to keep track of a little bit of the mutants. Mutants. Where are you, mutants? You're over here. Crash down strike. Bam. I'll see if I can name when we get some nice damage. We seem to do okay damage. Not as awesome as, super awesome, but it seems like she does okay damage. Have to use all of her spirit to get over here now. Crash down strike. Boom. Signature power. Let's get over here next to the boss. Let that do its thing. Then we're going to use our wave, then we're going to use our little blaster power. Come crashing down again. Just keep doing things over and over again. It seems like we can stay in the fight with our spirit regen. Actually, that is kind of an important number. Let's look at, because she was very spirit weak, we actually, so we took the River of Souls, which is giving us a big spirit boost there. But something else, I'm trying to remember. Something else is giving us a very nice, trying to remember exactly. I don't recall. Our spirit recovery is 4 per second, so that's not bad. Plus, that doesn't take into consideration every time we hit somebody, we're going to get 6 spirit back. So our spirit cost is down and our power duration. So that definitely helps with our spirit issue. Before we made the switch over, we were having some spirit issues. We were running out of spirit a little bit too quick. So let's see if we can get her a decent item here from all these chests we gathered yesterday. Oh, look at us. We got a card. That's great. Oh, and we got this worthless item. Alright, so what do we get there? Movement speed and damage rating versus bosses. Not the best options, obviously. Let's see if we get anything in our card. 10 relics there. We got some goodies there. And we got us, oops. We got a whopping 3 Odin marks. Come on, you're killing me here. Danger room scenarios. This is the new thing, and they've been added into the game. Pack of 10 Ode marks there. And I think that's all of our goodies, actually. So, back to the fight. Again, I forgot to mention the ultimate power. Her ultimate power is damage, explode with a cosmic energy, taking less damage and attacks, and creating a lingering field of corrosive power around you that burns enemies. So you get a big buff, and it does some energy damage. So that's obviously kind of goes along with her, send out a big wave of energy power like this, boom, 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 and then her signature power kind of does the same thing, sending out a big wave of energy. So that's good. Boom, send that out again. There we go. You see, we can do some, some decent amount of damage. Seems like. Use her little go. We'll use our little flying lunge and then activate this power because it'll give us extra damage for I think it's 8 seconds or 6 seconds. I'll have to double check the number on that. And then spend our signature power, which will do extra damage. Take these yahoos out. There we go. Excellent. Boom, boom, boom. A stupid flying lunge. So you can see the problem. Got to get all the way across the map with our short little lunge thing here. Alright, lunge into him. Use that. Use our signature. Oh, get over here. Use our signature power. Yep. We didn't do a lot of damage. I mean, in that situation, we didn't do. So obviously, somebody else was there killing him before we got over there. But it seems like our powers tend to do okay damage-wise. If we look at our actually. Damage reduction might be skewed because there's other heroes around that might be giving us bonuses. Let's wait until we can get out into an area without any other heroes around. And we're not activating a bunch of powers that might be giving us bonuses and stuff. So let's let all the cooldowns happen. We'll just come over here by ourselves. Oops. Yeah, that's what I thought. 37% damage reduction. Last time I looked at that, it was pretty low. And then our damage rating was in the 26 or 2800 range. So hopefully we're not getting any bonuses from being too close to anybody else. But this is okay numbers. Seems to be okay. 35% damage reduction is really low. Really, really, really low. So she's not very tough. She doesn't have a lot of hit points. And she doesn't have a lot of spirit. But fortunately, we're getting okay with the spirit because of our spirit regeneration is awesome. And now, I should mention she does have a travel fly around power, which is this one here. But it doesn't seem like it's as good as just going forward. I mean, you can fly, but your travel speed's really low until you put a lot of points into it. I'm not going to put a lot of points into flying around. So that's just not going to happen. Get in the middle of the bosses. Activate your power. There you go. Alright. We did some good damage here. Are they all dead again? Photonic energy. Use our Cosmic Haymaker. Use your little leap power. She does, she seems to, if you like activating lots of powers with heroes, then she seems to be a good choice for you. She doesn't have very many high cooldown powers, like 15, 20 seconds, like a lot of the other heroes. I mean, all of her powers are like 6-second cooldown or less. It just seems like they're very, very quick, which is nice. Is that it? Did we kill them all? Okay, thanks. Let's go after Hyde by herself, so you can kind of, I can tell because I've fought Hyde probably, 2,000 times so far in Marvel Heroes. Maybe more. I don't know. I haven't counted. Maybe there's some kind of statistic that keeps track of how many times you killed certain heroes. And I'll know, just by if I'm fighting him by myself, how much damage how long is it taking me to kill Hyde? I know how long it should take me. And I'm going to know pretty soon if I'm doing okay damage-wise. Now, looks like we've got Rocket Raccoon here, and Iron Man, and So that was a bad test. In fact, that is a good question. Let me see. There is actually in the game somewhere.
You ever get tired of all those supermodels, Tony? Didn't think so.
Okay, I was just looking for. There's somewhere I can go where I can get information like not stats, but like in-depth stats. Roster powers, characters, missions. I don't see it in here. The shared quest, we got the influence quest. I'm not sure. Alright, so yeah, I'll just look at that in between episodes, and maybe I can find it for the next hero we do. I'll pick up the Cosmic Ring. We need some money. All these hero upgrades and items and everything are costing me big time. And it's costing me lots of money. Oh, we missed it. Okay, fine. Be that way. So the fact that we have an Ice Spirit regen allows us to use a non-basic attack with her. You might not be so lucky, so if that's the case, I would definitely try to... Oh, looks like they got this guy already. Really? Crash down strike. Boom. There we go. Alright, oh, we've got 7 of the 10 hostages already. So yeah, I haven't seen too many, you know, in the $1 million range, million damage range. People watching this are probably thinking, what is this guy talking about?
How do you like these sides?
So, you know, just keep that in mind when you're watching some of the other hero reviews, and we're doing, you know, damage. You can kind of compare and see for yourselves. That's why I'm doing this. Not for me. I know what heroes are good and what heroes are bad, and this is for you guys at home, so you guys can get an idea, if you're not familiar with Marvel heroes, what you can do in the game. There's $1 million. There was $1 million. Alright, let's use our little wave of energy, our signature power there. Throw in a couple more powers here. Throw out this power. Boom. There was a 2 million. That's not bad. We'll definitely take that. I mean, occasionally she has flashes of doing good damage. And like I said, nothing too bad. Obviously, we're going to get more damage when that photonic energy bar fills up. So that's going to be a... Oh, and then I jumped up to the top there. That was not good. Alright, Taskmaster. See if we could do some damage to you then, shall we? Jump on your face. Yep. Not bad. I mean, she seems to do not bad damage, actually. You know, nothing bad. That's for sure. It's just not great. It's not good. I mean, I guess it's good. I shouldn't say it's not good. It's not. That's not accurate. It is good damage. It's just not. You know, when you compare with some of the other heroes out there that are doing, you know, a couple million without any good items, and yeah, right. Gotta go after my cars here so I can complete this legendary quest. So I gotta jump on some cars. How we doing on that, by the way? Yep, we're just waiting on cars. I knew it. Nobody goes fights cars, so I have to get them myself. Alright. Oh, good. We got some animals here. We'll just take these guys out with our signature power, which is very nice, because you can activate the signature power and Senzu's wave of energy out. Just constant wave of energy out. And while it's doing that, you can continue working on the rest of your powers, so you don't need to do anything fancy with that. You just let it do its thing. There is our single source of it. It's called the Stellar Flare. Boom. Send out a wave of energy. There's our signature power again, pretty quick. And you can see we are doing, a nice little combo damage there. Now we get to fight a boss, hopefully by ourselves. Come here, lizard boy. Come here, you. Well, okay. We killed that guy really quickly. Maybe there was another boss over there. I don't know. We'll have to come around this way, maybe. Oh, looks like they got Octopus already. Come on. Alright, come back this way. Use up all of our spirit. Oh, here's, oh, well, you know what? Oh, they just killed him, but I was close enough so I can get the items, so that's good. Alright, let's go after Grim Reaper over here.
For the glory of Hyper.
I talked a few things about her negative. The fact that, it takes spirit, it has that awful sound associated with it, with her little lunge forward power. But as a plus side, when I look at her, so she has the first signature power, the Radiant Cascade. You activate that, and then you can keep doing all your other powers. So you're going to be doing like double damage as this thing goes. It lasts for 4 seconds. So you do this, you're using your Cosmic Haymaker and your Infused Uppercut. You're still doing damage as this goes. Then you have this other nice wave of energy that comes out, does some pretty good damage as well. And then, of course, as you Flying Lunge for the next 6 seconds afterwards, any of your photonic energy powers, which happens to be the Crashdown Strike, the Radiant Cascade, the Stellar Flare, and the Photonic Wave, seem to do extra damage. So, hey, let's get some cow action going on here. It's time for some steak. Come on, cows, where are you? There they are. Alright, so activate our signature power. We're still punching. Signature power, there you go. Signature power, thank you. Let it activate and, keep doing the rest of your thing there. Boom, 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 boom. Just keep activating our punching power so we can... Nice, nice. Alright. Obviously, if we get her a slot 2 item for her character, that would be really good for you guys. So you guys can... Oh, no. Just click on it, please. Oh, looks like we actually did not get one. Okay. But we did get something. Let's take a look at it. It is actually... Go on, click this. It is a slot 1 item that's going to give us powers in Stellar Beam, Photonic Devastation, and Photonic Wave. So the red one is for bonuses to the melee attack section, the Cosmic Haymaker, the Photonic Punch, and the Infused Uppercut. And the this new White Hole Gauntlets is actually... looks like going to give us bonuses for our Photonic Energy group. Stellar Beam, Photonic Devastation, and Photonic Wave. So, Photonic Wave, we do use that. We do not use Photonic Devastation. What was the other one? Photonic Wave, Stellar Beam. Stellar Beam. Yeah, so we don't use those 2 powers. So, unfortunately for this one, we don't use the 2 of the 3 powers we're getting bonuses in. While the red gloves, we do use the Cosmic Haymaker, we use the Infused Uppercut, and the Photon Punch. I don't think we use the Photon Punch. Let's see, where's the Photon Punch? Yeah, we don't use that one, but 2 of the 3 we do. So it's better to have the red ones on than that. But if you were to put points into Stellar Beam and Photonic Devastation and Photonic Wave, then you might want the White Hole Gauntlets for yourself. Alright, well that is a look at Ms. Marvel. Unfortunately, we got another unique, what was it? Oh, it was the mask. Okay, so 224. Just trying to see if we might have got a slot 2. I don't think we've gotten a slot 2 yet. We actually had this one in slot 3, as you can see here. So we were able to get that item replaced along the way here as we've been playing Captain Marvel. I keep calling her Miss Marvel, but Captain Marvel. And hopefully I'll get a slot 2 item one of these days and be able to check it out. So that's a look at Captain Marvel. Does okay damage. Seems to be really weak in the stat department in the damage reduction. She has a really nice critical hit rating though, and her brutal strike rating tends to be a little low, but I think a few reasons for that is some of her bonuses she gets kind of behind the scenes there. They're giving her quite a big bonus there. We haven't even looked at the Whirlbird mask. When you use a Radiant Cascade, which happens to be our signature power. So every time we activate our signature power for the next 8 seconds, your critical hit and physical powers grant you +1 strength for 8 seconds, and your critical hits with energy powers gain you +1 energy. It can stack twice. If either stack reaches 2, you get health regeneration. So obviously a good thing there. We are getting some spirit regen there. Or I'm sorry, gain 18 spirit when you defeat an enemy. Probably we're getting some spirit cost reduction there. Yeah, I wish we had some spirit cost reduction here. Wish we could get that slot 2 item for you guys to show you. I apologize we don't have it, but hopefully by next time we'll have another hero and we'll get to look at them. So thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you guys next time.